Hi, Ebenezer second grade mathematicians. As we start our math lessons this week, I wanted to share with you the standard that is a new standard we're going to be instructing on this week. And it is a standard that says I can use analog and digital clocks to read and record time to the nearest 5-minute intervals using AM and PM. And as we read that standard, there's a word in there that might cause you a little bit of confusion, and that is the word analog. You see the word log at the end of analog, and an analog clock is a clock with hands, an hour hand and a minute hand. And I know in first grade you used an analog clock to tell time to the nearest hour, like 2 o'clock, or half hour, like 2:30. So you have had some practice with this standard using the 12 and the 6, using an hour hand and a minute hand, or the short hand for the hour hand and the long hand for the minute hand. And you have practiced some with the word and telling time on an analog clock. If you think about it, daily you use a digital clock. This clock shows 3:05. And in our classroom, if you look up at the clock in the classroom, you see the digital. It's showing it backwards. The digital word 3:05. So we're going to practice today by thinking about the amount of time that passes with each movement of the minute hand, from the 12 to the 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. And that time period is a unit that we count by often. We're going to construct what is called a linear clock to practice thinking about that amount of time. I have a set of cubes. If you look at these cubes, if we were in the classroom, you would help me put this together to construct 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We count by fives as that minute hand moves around on the analog clock. And today we're going to use these sets of fives to count around the clock. So we would count 5, 10, 15. You can tell me what would come next. Sorry. 20, 25 is the blue, 30, and then we would continue going. 35, 40, green is 45, light blue is 50, 55, 60. So a linear clock, and I had difficulty with this the first time, so I'm going to try one more time. A linear clock connects all the minutes by fives around the clock hand. So let's do it one trip around the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20. Orange is 25, 30. This brown, we're halfway around the clock. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So this line represents 60 units. Or, if you look at it, we have 12 sets of 5. Look at the colors. 1, blue is 2, 3. Oh my goodness, I had that happen before. I'm not going to hit pause. I'm going to keep going just 1 second. Technology at its best. We have to just keep monitoring and working. But we're going to get all the way around the clock in this long line. Again, brown is 1, blue is 2, yellow is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do it this way and hold them up. 10, 11, 12. And I apologize. If we were in the class, these would be laid out on the floor and you would be helping me put them together and they would hold on tight and closely together. I will be right back with you to show you how these blocks, these 60 units, fit around our analog clock. Okay, boys and girls, so I have taken our 60 Unifix cubes that we counted by fives with, and I arranged them around an analog clock, hold on, to show the intervals, of 5. So if you look, from the 12 to the 1, we have 5 blue blocks. 1 to 2, we have 5 yellow blocks. 2 to 3, we have 5 brown blocks. So I'm going to do my part down here. And we are together going to use this clock to count by fives. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So every trip this long minute hand makes around this clock has 60 units or 60 minutes. And the distance from each number on the clock is measured by units of 5. From the 12 to 1, that's 5 after the hour, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You had that time in first grade. On this clock, this shows 3:30. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and back around. It has been 1 hour or 60 minutes. So we're going to use this analog clock to practice telling time to the nearest 5-minute intervals. And you practicing counting by fives helps you get ready to tell time. You will only need to go from 5 to 60 because there are 60 minutes in one trip around the analog clock. And every hour is equal to 60 minutes. Join us Wednesday when we discuss half hours or 30 minutes, which you talked about in first grade, but also quarter after and quarter till. Wait until Wednesday to find out where those numbers land on our analog clock. Can't wait to see you back then. Have a great day practicing counting by fives and practicing with analog clocks.